Everyone, so today I actually wanted to talk about some of the upcoming products that Argent Saga is going to be coming out with here in the next 2 months. The reason I'm doing this is because we kind of got a swarm of information on some things here the past 2 days, and it got me kind of excited, so I wanted to make a video about it. The first one, obviously, is Conviction, which comes out today. Everyone knows about it. There's been spoilers, there's been videos on it, so just YouTube any of those and you'll find them. There's some cool cards in there. One thing to note is this is the last expansion pack that ARG is going to do, which I think is good because they weren't very high sellers. They did that random foil pack where one of the packs in the display will have all foil cards. And the problem with that was once you found the foil pack, then no one wanted to buy it. So now everything is non-foil unless you buy foil packs directly from ARG for $50 on their site. So you can do that. I think that's kind of neat because you can support your local store by buying the packs, or if you want foils, you can buy them directly from ARG, which supports ARG, which, companies need money to progress the game. So if you can support them in any way, that's good. I don't have an LGS near me, so I obviously bought them directly from ARG. But with that being said, I did want to talk the bulk of this video about Ascension. So let's get into Ascension. So Ascension is the third main set for Argent Saga, and the sneak peek is planned for March 20th, which is the third week of March. And then the set will fully release the week after that. So what ARG has done, they've sent out an email to anyone who's subscribed to their updates. And they released this statement talking about what we can expect for Ascension. One of the key things that they mention is this card, Mateo the Silver King. Apparently this guy is the big baddie. He's going to destroy the world if you don't stop him kind of thing. There's a lot of speculation into what he actually is. I personally hope that he's an Argent champion. I thought that would be really cool, our first colorless champion. But he could also be like a legendary unit and then just be a bomb. But we'll have to wait and see. Not a whole lot on him other than he's the big bad guy. The other thing that they mention are Omega units. So they say Omega units are a brand new card type with incredibly powerful effects. Use an Omega unit to take over and finish your opponent off. So my first guess at what Omega units are unit versions of the Omega Magics, where the more towers you have destroyed, the greater effects they have. We do have cards like this already, like Eccentric Visitor, and someone had mentioned to me on Facebook whenever I had said that comment that Kara, the Lone Valkyrie, is already something like this. So we do have cards like that already, but I thought it would be cool to have, each color have their own kind of Omega unit. They also could be legendary creatures, that can close out games. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see as well, but that's what I kind of picture whenever they're talking about Omega units. So something else they mention is this maze card, the Great Maga Maze. And they talk about removing all the counters from the maze to win the game, or they stay trapped inside forever. So I'm guessing it's some kind of augment that your opponent, it puts your opponent at a disadvantage. They have to overcome some kind of status ability or some kind of scenario where if they can get through those scenarios, they remove counters each turn, and if they remove all counters, they automatically win the game. So it must put them at a great disadvantage, but it obviously has a big drawback. So that's something that it sounds like, and that'd be pretty cool. They also talk about brand new spirit cards, so that's also something that's very exciting, because right now we've only had the 5 spirits to work with. We do have the 10 champions, which are nice, but adding new spirits also adds some, as they say here, depth and diversity to deck building. So also something I'm excited about. I love anytime you can go out and build a bunch of different new strategies. So it's always nice to hear that they're adding new ways to build new decks. And that's pretty much what we have from the new card side as far as what we can expect to see. But they also mentioned some really cool stuff about the actual sneak peek. So the big exciting news with the sneak peek for Set 3 is that they're going to have a draft event. I want to talk about drafting specifically, but I want to read what they said in the email first about the draft, and then we'll talk about that. So they said the Ascension sneak peek is going to be different, like I said, where you're going to be able to draft. So you're going to have 4 to 6 players in this event where they'll get 1 draft pack and then 5 booster packs. And essentially, all of those packs are going to be used in your draft. If you guys don't know how draft works, it's very big in Magic the Gathering, and I think it's one of the reasons why that card game's so successful. But anyway, you'll get 5 booster packs. You'll open 1 booster pack at a time. So once you open your first booster pack, you'll look through all of the cards, and you'll take 1 card out of those cards in that pack. Once you've selected the 1 card, you'll then pass everything to your left. And then the person who is sitting to your right gives you all of the cards that they picked, that they left, minus the 1 card that they picked. So all of those cards come to you, and then you look through those, take 1, pass it on and so forth until all the cards are gone. Then you open your next pack and do the same thing, but you alternate the direction on where you pass your pack. So if you started on the left, then for your second booster pack that you open, you'll pass everything to the right. It's very fun, very cool way to play the game. So they're actually going to be doing this at the sneak peek, which I am so excited for. The reason they're doing that is they want set 4 to be completely draftable, and they're kind of testing how that's going to happen. So I think that's a great step forward for them. I'm really excited about doing this event. I usually don't go to sneak peeks, but I'm definitely going to attend this one to try and see what the draft is like. As far as the draft pack goes, they really don't explain what's going to be in that draft pack. I don't know if it's going to be champions or towers or what, and then you select those. That still remains to be seen. But I'm sure we'll get some more information here going forward. So that's the actual news that we got from ARG on the sneak peek. As far as my opinions go for making the game draftable, I think that's a huge step forward for ARG. I specifically play Magic the Gathering just to draft. I don't own any cards physically. I just like to draft with friends or go to an event that my friends want to go to draft. I understand the concepts of Magic, and I know how to play, so if I can go and play for $20 and just play the game, that's worth it to me. So when ARG does that to attract new players, I think that's a huge step forward. A lot of times, because card games are so expensive, people don't want to invest in multiples of them. So if they play Magic the Gathering, they're most likely not going to get into Argent Saga, and so on and so forth, with like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Cardfight Vanguard, all of the other card games that are out there. So if you allow them to do a draft where they can just pay a certain amount of money and then play for the day and not have to heavily invest, I think that's a really good stepping stone to eventually get people into the game long term, while also generating revenue from players that you usually would not get to play the game. So I'm so excited that they're doing this. As soon as they announced that, it was a while ago on Facebook, that they're planning on having the game be 100% draftable, is so cool, and I think it's going to definitely benefit the game going forward, and I think it's going to attract new players and eventually grow the player base. So kudos to ARG for doing that, and I can't wait. So ARG also announced the LGS February tournament kits. It's going to be Leo. I think a lot of people saw this coming. What they tend to do is whatever the championship promo was for January, they will then make that promo the LGS card for February, except it's non-foil. So Leu follows suit with this trend. I think it's a very good promo for sure. All of the promos that they've kind of come out with have been very good, so it makes a lot of sense to go support your LGS and try and get these very good cards. And then also, they added the Iton alternate art, which is in the bottom right of the screen there. And then they also added an illusion token, which is foil, which is very cool. I love tokens. I know a lot of people don't like tokens. I love them, so I'm excited for that. And I think they're just making good steps forward with the LGS kits. They seem to be something that people enjoy. So let's keep that going. So the last product I want to talk about actually was leaked yesterday, and it's called the LGS Pack. Now what this is you have this collection of cards that you see on the screen that you can purchase at your LGS store. The pack is a one-card pack, and it's completely random for $4. So you have the chance of getting any of these cards that you see on the screen for $4. And it still remains to be seen if the cards are foil or not. I still don't know. But the treats that were released early on accident were foil. So I'm thinking that maybe some cards are foil and others aren't. But anyway, I really like this idea. I think it's pretty cool to give incentive to go to your LGS. You need to build up the local stores to grow the game. So I like this idea. I know not everyone's for it, but I do enjoy this. They have a lot of really good popular cards in here with full arts, which look amazing in this game. So I'm really excited about this. For $4, I think it's a pretty decent deal, especially, because the Omega Magics alone, most of them are worth, anywhere from $5 to $10 a piece. So I think it's a decent deal. And then the legendary shard or the special shards in the far back, being full art, they might, garner a $3 or $4 price tag when it's all said and done. Obviously, we have two new cards on here that people might not be familiar with. The first one is that Spirit card, and then the other one right behind the Spirit card to the right is actually a card that will be in the third set. And I'll go over those in a second. But I just wanted to touch on this last product. These are the three things that we've kind of been introduced to. You have Conviction, which comes out today. Then you have Set 3 with a big announcement that there's going to be a draft event, which is going to progress into Set 4 being 100% draftable, which is a big step for the game. And then you also have these LGS packs, which help support your local gaming stores. So big steps forward for the company in ARG and the game for Argent Saga. I'm really excited about this stuff, so can't wait for the next upcoming months. So let's just jump into these new cards here. I want to talk about them, and then we'll end the video. So with all these product releases, we did get a sneak peek at 3 new cards that we're expecting out of these products. The first one is the sneak peek promo for Ascension, which is Rowenta the Vengeful Phoenix. She's a 5-cost unit with 3,000 power. And she reads, discard this card from your hand, destroy target non-token unit you control, and if you do, deal 1,500 to target unit your opponent controls. It also says at the start of your draw phase, if this card is in your discard zone because of its own ability, you may expel this card. If you do, put into play a Rowenta unit from your hand or discard zone. So this card's so good. Like, so good. The big thing, triggering any unit that has a Ruin ability is always good. So this can find its way into dark decks. It can find its way, obviously, into red Rowenta decks. It can also fit its way into some green decks. They have some good low-cost units that have Ruin abilities, mainly the Scorpion card, which deals minus 1,000. So, there's endless possibilities. I haven't really even looked into it. Just looking at this card originally, just first glance, makes me think it's great. One, because it's a hand trap. You're dealing damage to something by destroying something that you have. That's usually a downside, but it can obviously be beneficial if you, again, destroy something with a Ruined ability. And then secondly, it helps you cheat out the Phoenix, which is a great card. It's just hard to get out, and it's high cost. So if you can cheat it out for essentially free with this card is nuts. And then also being able to play the Rowenta package to recycle the Phoenix, where Phoenix is actually pretty good right now because of Bloom. This is something that I think makes red even better, which is good because red's one of the weakest colors as of now. The rumor is red gets really good in Set 3, and I think this is a clear indication that that could be a possibility because this card's dirty. So the next new card we're going to look at actually comes in the LGS packs, which you can get February 1st. And it's a new blue spirit, and that's Tux the Emperor Spirit. It has the 10 infinity cost in the top left, so you get to play 10 blue cards, which is kind of nice. And its effect reads, when a unit you control destroys a tower, you may draw a card, then discard a card. And then its Soul Burst ability is you Soul Burst it and pay 3, and then you stun all units your opponent controls. And what that means is, as they say there, a stun card cannot attack, block, or use activated abilities until the end of the next turn. So, very powerful ability. This is the first Soul Burst that we see where you actually have to pay additional shards to actually activate it, which I think is good. But that Soul Burst ability is pretty nuts. And then the regular ability to just pretty much fix your hand by destroying a tower is pretty nice. This card's very good. I think this is an exclusive look at Ascension 3 spirits. This could be an exclusive spirit. I don't know. But I'm expecting this to be one of the new spirits in Ascension. But we'll see. But as far as the card goes, I really like it. I think adding new spirits is great, and this one's definitely a good one. And if we see this stun ability come in set 3, watch out for that, because stun seems extremely strong. So our final card is Gloom Necro Lord. So this card's going to be in Ascension, which is the 3rd set, and it also is going to be in the LGS pack, so you can get it early, February 1st. So this card is a 9-cost unit with 3,000 power, and it has a ruined ability that reads, you may expel this card from your discard zone. If you do, put 2 target units from your discard zone into play. So this card is very strong. The effect is very, very strong. It's any 2 units. It doesn't have any kind of cost associated with the units that you can put into play. It doesn't specify any kind of color, so you can pick anything. Now, there's already a lot of talk on some of the Discords about this card, and it's pretty nutty. So you're technically never really going to play this card. For the 9 cost, you're going to use a Gargoyle card. I forget what the card's actual name is, but I'll put it up next to this card in the video. But you use this card to activate the Ruined ability. So it's a 3-cost unit. You can bring it out with Yami. And then you can treat it, because it's dark, so you'll be playing treat in your deck. And then you'll be able to activate Gloom Necro Lord's ability in the discard zone without ever having to cast the 9 cost. So things are going to get pretty nutty. Obviously, Bone Scavenger is a nice check to this, being able to remove that with Bone Scavenger. Thank God we have that card, because, good lord, all of these discard zone abilities would just be nutty if we didn't have Bone Scavenger to keep it in check. But yeah, you should go check out the Discord. There's a Argent Saga Discord that Kalen runs, and it's really nice. There's a bunch of good Discords out there. The Tavern Brawlers Discord, and then NH Ravens Discord. You know, go check them out. Talk about the game, but there's a lot of cool combos out there, and we'll get into that whenever I actually do a Set 3 spoiler. But as of now, I'm going to let your guys' creative juices flow with the card that I just showed you, that Gargoyle. So I hope you enjoyed the video today, guys, all the new products, some of these new cards that we got to take a look at. Hope you're excited like I am. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, Zeppelin out.